welcome back to another video. Today, Duke, thank you for the kisses. Today, it is sub-zero. It is freezing. It's currently -7 degrees C or 19 in Fahrenheit for my American audience. But yes, it is cold. Now, I know there's going to be some people who live in, I don't know, Alaska, Antarctica, somewhere even colder than here at the moment. You guys can be like, that's not even cold. That's like our summers. I don't know. But over here in England, that is freezing. My horses are not used to that temperature at all. So today I'm going to be talking, Duke, I know that you're a baby and you like to chew on things, but my coat is not one of them. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the dangers of having extreme temperature like this with horses, especially when they're not used to it at all. So I'm going to be giving you some top tips on how to keep your horses warm this winter. Would you like a kiss? Would you like, oh, now you're shy. You don't want to kiss anymore? Mwah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the kisses, Duke. Thank you for the kisses. Mwah. Oh no, you've got some lipstick on your nose. So at the moment, we are experiencing a little bit of a polar vortex, which is a word that I didn't really think I'd ever say on the channel, but here we go. So it is very cold. Also, I just want to apologise for how dirty Joey's face is. Yesterday when I lunged him, after I put him back out in the field, he decided to roll in the muddiest patch, so I do need to give him a bit of a groom today. My horses like to be horses, they like to be outside, they like to be in the mud, they like to be in the field, but unfortunately right now it's not very safe to put them out yet. Like, the yard is all slippery and icy, the fields are just horrible, so he's having a little bit of a duvet morning. Hopefully it thaws a little bit later on. But yeah, the main problem that we have right now is all of the water, everything's frozen. So yeah, that's not great. Welcome, oh, sorry, hose pipe. I was gonna say welcome to the hose pipe, which is a little bit frozen, as you can see. There is a literal icicle sticking out the end of it. So at the moment we have no water from this hose pipe. Luckily we have one in the feed room, which does work pretty well because it's all insulated. There's been a few occasions where that hasn't worked, we've had to get water from the house. But yes, water is so important, obviously, to keep your horses alive, but also in the winter, one of the top reasons for colic can be that your horses don't want to drink the water because obviously it's cold, it's icy, it probably isn't very nice to drink cold water when it's freezing outside as it is, and you really need your horses to drink in the winter because their gut, if that dries out, that can cause colic. If you don't know what colic is, it's basically when a horse's gut can twist and knot, and obviously that is not very good. So anyway, or it can cause constipation, which I'm not going to go into any more detail about that. But anyway, so I'm going to make sure that all of the horses have nice clean water, that sometimes I put a little bit of warmer water in there as well, just because they don't want to be drinking cold water. It's good to get some fluids in them. If you're enjoying today's video so far or finding it interesting or useful, please, 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 I don't ask you to do much on the channel, but if you could like today's video, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. Also, if you press the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel, there is a new feature that YouTube has added where fireworks go off. So if you haven't subscribed already, try that out. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the video. Welcome to the only functioning tap we have here at the yard. As you can see, we have some water. It is working. Also, thought I would apologise for the dirt on the worktop. So this morning, very, very early, I made the horses all kind of like a Bailey's balancer mash. And it's kind of stayed on the worktop. I've tried to scrub it off now, but because it's so cold, it is literally frozen onto there. Also, it was so cold this morning, I was driving my car, went into a puddle, the puddle obviously sprayed like ice water up onto my windscreen, and then when I tried to use my windscreen wipers, it had just frozen. So there we go. It is, yeah, I'm not used to this cold. In the UK, we're used to rain, not this. So at least it's not snowing yet. That is a possibility. But anyway, I was here to also talk about our yard kettle. It's very useful for making hot water, so that is very useful for warming everything up a little bit. Again, you want your horses to drink. So, oh, hello, Mickey. Mickey, you can tell, has had a drink because he does this thing where he sticks his tongue out and he's also licking his lips and has lots of water in it. No, Mickey, don't touch the kettle. That is hot. Too hot for you. But yeah, as you can tell, I have put some kettle water in their buckets already this morning. I'm not just doing it now for the video. Obviously, my horse's health is, yes, it's my priority to keep you happy and healthy. So first thing this morning, before it was even light, I was doing all of this. And tell you what I'm doing? I'm doing it all over again. So anyway, I'm gonna add some nice warm water into your bucket because I know that in some places or some countries, you guys have, you know, proper heated kind of water systems, that kind of stuff, troughs. We don't have that here, so we're dealing with what we've got. So Casper is probably the worst drinker out of all my horses because obviously I know them really well. I've owned Casper for what, 10 years now? That is wild. But anyway, I know that I obviously look each day at how much he drinks, and he drinks the least out of all my horses. So what I might do actually after this, after I've warmed his water up a little bit, is make him another mash with some water in just to get some fluid into his system, keep everything going, and I'm sure he's gonna absolutely love that too. Gives it a good mix before he decides to put his nose in there. There we go. So next up we have food. Obviously in the winter or when it's really cold, it's a good idea to give them a little bit more food because they are going to be burning more calories, keeping themselves warm. So here I have Duke's normal low-cal balancer from Bailey's that I'm just going to pour into his bucket. Again, I'm going to put some warm water in there. Obviously check the temperature before because you don't want it to be burning hot. That is not a good idea. But yes, also forage is, sorry, the kettle's boiling. I'm getting some more kettle water there. But also with forage, that is so important. So making sure that at all times they have access to, I was going to say grass. Over here, when it's really cold, when it's freezing, all the grass is frozen. You don't want to give that to your horses. You want to either give them hay or haylage. My horses personally get haylage. They get the low sugar kind, which is great. Also, Mickey has a bit of a respiratory problem, so we find haylage has a lot less dust and things in, so that's what they get. So I'm gonna make sure they have haylage at all times because it's really good to keep their gut moving. Again, this is a prime time for getting colic, and you do not want your horses to get that. While the kettle is boiling, I thought I would tell you the second reason of why forage is so important during cold weather. Now, when the forage is in your horse's stomach, obviously, when it's digested, it actually ferments, and that produces heat, and that heats your horse up from within, so they have a nice warm tummy. And obviously, that keeps them warm during the winter. Alrighty, I think Duke is gonna love this. I'm just gonna put a bit of cold water in as well because we don't want him to burn his little snoot. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Hey, little man. I got some more snackies for you. All right, Dukey. There we go. Well done. The next thing I'm going to talk about is exercise. Obviously, keeping your horses moving is a great thing for them, especially their gut, to prevent colic. That's what I've been talking about a lot today, just because it is so common, especially when you have a drastic change in temperature. But here in the arena, we are actually quite lucky to have a surface that has a bit of rubber on. So it's actually, as the sun is on it, especially this side, which is the sunny side, it's actually starting to loosen up a little bit. First thing this morning, it was proper rock solid in here. So hopefully by the afternoon, I might be able to lunge the horses. Also, the arena is a lot safer of a surface than personally my fields out there, just because it's almost like moon craters where there's been mud and then the mud's frozen and then all the hoof prints. So what I might actually do is put Mickey and Duke out in here later, let them have a little walk around, because keeping a horse moving and walking obviously is good for lots of things. Something that I like to do with my horses is obviously give them the best life possible, but also to let them be out in the field as much as they can. But anyway, hopefully they can have a little bit of a walk around, keep them moving, keep them warm. And yeah, the arena surface actually not feeling too bad. It's a little bit more solid than usual, but it's a lot better than the fields. Alrighty, we are now here with the donkeys who are having a bit of a bromance, aren't you, Tobbs? Anyway, I'm gonna let them out now. They've just finished one of their mash meals of the day. I think at the moment we're feeding them like three dinners. Okay, sorry, they're getting a bit excited now. Out you come. Willow's already out. She's had her medicine outside, so that's why I keep them separated. But yes, as you can see, they're all doing very well. We're equestrians in winter. Of course we're going to use our wellies to break the ice in water troughs. As I said before, we've been feeding them 3 times a day, been giving them lots of attention and cuddles. Also, the donkeys' paddock, their paddock, the ground is a lot better here. I think it's because they've got smaller hooves. Doesn't get as muddy, so obviously the ground is really good. So I might actually let them out into my grandparents' garden for a little bit because they quite like to kind of watch them out in the field. Obviously, they have lots of haylage that they have access to all the time. But yeah, you happy? Mwah. Good girlie. You're so good. And also, all of my donkeys are quite old now, so they don't really run about like the horses do. Good girl. So the donkeys, you can probably tell, are really, really woolly, and like Duke, they don't actually really need any rugs this time of year. One of the most important things with donkeys though is that they must always have shelter because they don't have very waterproof coats. So you're not very good in the rain, but they're always very good. When it does rain, they go in their little field shelter all together and huddle. But actually, a day like today, it is chilly, but starting to warm up a bit. The sun shines out, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is rugs. Mwah. Good boy, Bruni. Now it's time to talk about all things rugging. We're here with Casper as our model. Now, I'm sure Lemure would have loved to have showed their rugs that Casper's in. Beautifully clean, but the reality of owning horses is that they like to roll, especially in the muddiest patch, and that is definitely down with Casper. So the reason why I rug my horses, especially Joey and Casper, is because they are clipped, they're in work, and I find that's how they're most comfortable. Obviously you should rug your horses depending on lots of different things. Oh yes, he's like, yes, you've got your coat on. So that should be down to their age, if they're in work, what breed they are, how much coat they have. So Casper's clipped, so he doesn't have as much, so I rug my horses to keep them a little bit warmer because obviously he is not as fluffy. His face is nice and fluffy though. I like to keep his face nice and warm, yes, especially as my horses are turned out, also depending on if they're in a stable or if they're out in the field, and lots of other different things. So I'll leave you a few things up on screen. But yes, some horses don't need rugging at all, like Duke. Duke is actually a rescue from World Horse Welfare that I've rehomed, and due to his breeding, he gets really fluffy in the winter, so he doesn't need a rug at all. So yes, also it can be down to what your horse's condition's like too. So if you have a horse that's super skinny, then maybe having a rug on will help them not burn as much calories, staying warm. So lots of different things. Obviously, rugs are down to people's personal preferences. Everyone has an opinion on them, but overall I always say do what you think is best for your horse. Keeping them warm is obviously good, but also it's just as bad for your horse to overheat as it is to get too cold. So this can be a really tricky thing of making sure that you get it right, but overall you just got to do what's best for your pony. Hey Casp, are you happy boy? Yes. Oh, and by the way, Casper's had this rug for what? 3-4 months, and he's worn it like almost every day, and yes, he has not destroyed it yet. He has been known for destroying a rug in 1 day. Yes, I know, I'm being embarrassing and getting annoyed. Yes, actually you just want food, don't you? He's like, give me more treats. Also, look how cute his little moustache is. But anyway, this rug, it's going strong. No holes yet. I'll keep you updated, but I'd say when it comes to rugs, it's best to invest into one that's really high quality that hopefully your horse won't destroy, because in the long run, it's better to have one that you pay for at the start than lots that you have to pay for multiple times. Well, that's just what I think works best. Hey, Gasp. Okay. A little top tip, if you do decide to rug your horse, then especially if a horse like Mickey that's maybe retired, isn't in work anymore, it's really important to regularly check underneath their rug. So for example, I like to give Mickey a good old groom underneath there, make sure there aren't any sore areas, and also it's really good to body condition score your horse, so see how they are underneath there. Sometimes especially in the winter, horses can lose weight a little bit, and if they have a rug on, you can't really see what's happening underneath. So make sure you regularly check underneath your horse's rugs. So I'm currently putting some haylage out in Joey's paddock for him because it's starting to defrost, it's getting better, the ground is a lot better, and also by the time Joey's eaten his haylage neck, because I know my horses. Joey will come in here and he will stand here until every single morsel is gone. So that will keep him happy while the ground defrosts. So there we go. Time to put the boys out. Let's have a scratch. Be free. I think that is everything for my winter survival checklist. The horses are out, yes, so they get a little bit of movement. They also have lots of forage, so they've got lots of haylage out in their paddocks. They also have the horses that need rugs have got rugs on. I've also made sure that yes, Casper, thank you for reminding me, that they're all happy and healthy. So I'm pretty sure that is everything on my horsey checklist. If you have any more top tips on how to survive winter or the cold, especially you guys in areas like Canada where I know that you regularly get snow. We don't actually have any snow here at the moment, but you never know. There might be some coming this winter. Last winter it snowed in March, which I feel like was a little bit out of the blue. So if you do have snow, it's also important to make sure that you pick out your horses' hooves regularly. Obviously you're supposed to do that anyway, but even more regularly because they can get snow compacted in their hooves, which is not good. But anyway, I think we're going to finish off today's video here. I'm going to, of course, the rest of the day keep checking up on all of the equines, make sure that they're happy and dealing well within the cold. Please stay safe out there, guys, and also please look after yourself as well. This time of year, a lot of equestrians can have accidents because they're rushing and maybe it's slippery or icy, or keep yourselves warm as well. So anyway, thank you for watching today's video. If you're new or have not done so already, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out and I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Good boy, Casp. You've been a good horsey. Good model, yes.